Welcome to our player parent meeting for the 2021 baseball season. I'm Joel Thamert. I'm very excited to get this season started. It's been a rough one after last year. It was a really tough year having a team that we thought would really compete for a state title, and having 13 seniors and not giving them an opportunity to played one last time together. It was a really tough time. Fortunately, we got our things together. It looks like a little bit better, and football and soccer went off without a hitch. Winter sports went great. Obviously, the basketball team went to the Final Four and had a tremendous year. So we're really excited about this season. I'm starting my 28th year of coaching high school baseball. I've been a head coach now this will be 25 years. So it's more exciting every year. And we have a very special group of young men, and we can't wait to get started on the season. I'm doing this because I just think it's going to be easier, not tying people down with times to be on Zoom and things like that. If you're a businessman, I know you've probably been on Zoom a lot this year, and it's just one more thing you have to do. And I thought this would be much easier. If you have questions, if there's anything that I did not cover that you had specific questions about, just email me at jthamert@usd232.org. I will also put that in the email that I send this link to as well. This year we have 5 coaches besides myself. Coach Brett Hothen is a teacher here at DHS, beginning his 11th season at DeSoto. He's our hitting coach and infield coach, and he also coaches third base on the varsity, but he works with all levels on the infield. So he comes with a vast amount of knowledge and enthusiasm, and does a tremendous job in the weight room with our guys, and really is a quality individual and great role model for our kids here at DHS. Nick Pierce, I believe this is his 8th season at DHS. He is kind of our defensive coordinator for the varsity. He's our catcher's coach, and he teaches at Mill Creek, teaches science at Mill Creek. And I'm sure many of your sons or daughters had him over there at Mill Creek, and he does a tremendous job as well with our kids. And he coaches, I think, 3 middle school sports plus baseball here. And he's just been a great addition to our staff 8 years ago, and he's just become a kind of a stalwart of our program, like Coach Hothen. Unfortunately, we had 3 coaches move on from the last several years, and all of them were good reasons to move on. So we had to hire 3 new ones this year, and we're very excited about them. They're doing a fantastic job these first 2 weeks. Our JV coach would be Tyler Windholz. He brings a vast amount of baseball knowledge. He's coached at Gardner, Edgerton High School, as well as Olathe Northwest, and those are the most recent, but there are others. And he's got a lot of knowledge and a lot of enthusiasm, and he loves working with kids. And I think our players have really gravitated towards him already. Our other 2 coaches will be coaching the freshman level teams and sophomore level teams. They are Nick Taylor. He works for the school district here at 232, and he also has a lot of baseball experience coaching high school at various stops along the way. And then our newest is Chase Kilgore, who is the PE teacher at Starside. He comes to us from Pitt State via Rogers, Arkansas. He was a shortstop in high school and played outfield for Coach Fernelli at Pitt State the last several years. So he's our outfielders coach pretty much, and he has done a great job as well. We're really excited about both of those guys and what they bring to our young players, and they're going to be the key, as well as our young players are, to our success in the future. And so we felt it very important that we hire 2 men that will be great leaders, role models, and share their baseball knowledge with our players. And they've exceeded my expectations thus far. We again will have 4 levels: freshman, sophomore. Now we're going to call those D and C, but they honestly it doesn't really matter. We're going to mix them most of the time. You're going to find out that at some levels, the C games will be more competitive than some of the JV teams that we play. So we're going to see some kids bounce from probably JV to C and C to JV. We're going to be moving around a lot to ensure that our kids get to play, because that's the main goal of our program at the lower levels, is to make sure we are developing players, giving them opportunities, number one, to improve at the game, but also to have fun doing it and playing with their teammates. Our expectations for our players are quite simple. We want them to be responsible. If they are going to be gone at all, I really don't prefer an email from you. I would really prefer a text message or email from them directly, or stop by my room, or tell me at practice, hey, I got this going on. Face to face is always the best. And many times they're sheepish about it because why they're being gone. Other times it's, if you're gone, you're gone. And we treat all absences the same. If you're gone, you're not there. You're going to do the conditioning when you get back, and there will be ramifications in playing time. And that's just the way it has to be, because you're not there and somebody else is. And so we want you to be responsible. We want our players to be responsible. And then accountable. Be on time to practice, be on time to school, no tardies, no absences. Grades is a huge priority for us. We have several on the grade list already. Let me explain how that works, the eligibility list. We get it on a Monday, and then we address our players. If they're in red, they are ineligible that week, and they have to get that grade. If they have an F in a class, they have to get it up to a D. If they're in yellow, that means they have a week. It's a probationary period. They have a week to get it up, and they can still play that week. We have some red. We have some kids in the red already. So we need, obviously, to get those grades up as we approach the season, which we're getting very close. A week and a half out from our first, I believe, C game and varsity game. So it's getting close. And then we're going to make sure we follow the substance abuse policy. And this has affected us in the past, as it does every sport, I'm sure. And we have a 3 strikes policy here at USD 232, and I'm all in favor of it. I think it's fantastic. First offense is a 2-week 2-week suspension. You practice, but you don't play. The second offense is a year offense, basically. And then, 6 weeks. And then the third offense, I believe, is a year. So there's a lot of things that you want to avoid in this world. And the fact that we have tough penalties for mistakes like that, substance abuse issues, then hopefully we can help our players go farther in life with that, and make sure we take care of those issues at an early age, and work with parents. We'll do whatever we have to do to ensure that our players and our students are safe. And it's been a tough time with the mental issues that have gone on with this pandemic, as well as those types of issues, abuse issues. So we want to make sure that our guys are safe. And that's why it's so great that we're out here playing baseball, is that they're getting out there with their friends and they're doing something they enjoy. And thank goodness that our district had the foresight to not buckle under pressure and cave to pressure by not having sports this spring, or this year, this fall. And that's really helped our school a lot, and other schools have followed suit. Our expectations overall are just the Wildcat way, which we preach at our program, and that's attitude and effort. And we want great attitudes and we want great effort. Those are the only 2 things you can control, are your attitude and effort. And then play with joy, play the game with joy, practice with joy, and have enthusiasm. And that's really what it takes to be a good ball player. Or it doesn't even matter if you're a bad ball player. If you have great attitude, give great effort, you play with joy and enthusiasm, you're going to have fun doing what we're doing out here. And then we really want our guys to dream big. You know, if they're a freshman, we want them dreaming of playing varsity someday. If they're on varsity, we want them dreaming beyond that. Hopefully, you know, maybe it's college. Maybe as far as team goes, obviously it's to go to Wichita and play at X Stadium. You know, that's got to be our dream. That's got to be our goal. And then the other thing that the Wildcat way, we really emphasize is we're going to have to persevere through some tough times. And there's going to be many tough times. Last year was a tough time, not having the game. And so hopefully that we can continue to drive through things, knock that door down. We've had several opportunities to go to state. We didn't get it done. And we got a great group of young men, and we're going to persevere this spring. And then have faith in each other. If there's a higher power that they believe in, have faith in that, and don't fear anything, whether it be on the baseball field or life. You can always overcome, and we really believe in that. That's part of our mantra here, our Wildcat way. Those core values right there are very important to us. Expectations for you as a parent. Communication, that's the key. I try to get that out to you via Skyward. I will try to send out VNN texts to our players, and I know some of you are on there as well. I'll try to do that weekly, if not daily, to let you know what's going on. And if you don't know, never fear of shooting me an email, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. If you are having trouble with the VNN app, let me know, and I will talk to Sam Vaughn at VNN, and I think he can help you get that going. Obviously, Skyward, check your emails, because I will send out something as early as I know, whether it be cancellations, postponements, additions to games, or something like that, just information, bus leave times, things like that aren't on the schedule. Another very important role for you is to support your son and make sure that he's mentally and physically in a good state. And I know some kids aren't very open to their parents, and I get that. But if you ever see anything or fear anything, please let us know if we can help. We're always here for you and for your player to make sure that things go the way that they should in life. And a couple of things to add on to that, as far as the game goes or the team goes, you know, we will never talk about another player with you. So that's something that just is always off limits, because that is just not fair. The second thing, we will never talk about strategy. You know, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing this? We're not going to do that. I've done this too long. I'm pretty confident in what we do. We've had a lot of success, and this is what we do. And just support us, support your son. That's all we ask. And then the third thing, we're not going to talk about playing time. If you want to talk about certain things within what's going on with your son, that's fine, but we're not going to talk about his playing time. That's going to be determined by us. And sometimes the simple answer is, you know, we just have better options at that position. I mean, and you don't like to hear that, but that's how we feel, and we're the ones that have to make those decisions. We will talk about, however, how your son fits in the program, what he can do to improve. And I'm mainly talking about the varsity level. Sometimes there's nothing more he can do. He's doing all he can, and player A or player B are just in a better situation right now. And that's tough to hear. But we will definitely have that conversation with you. And we really encourage our players to have those conversations with us. As parents, it's frustrating. I know, I'm a parent as well. I get that. You never like to hear those things when they're not, like, why my son's not playing. It's very tough. And I get it. I understand. I've been there. So we try to have a lot of patience and understanding with our players when they're frustrated about that. And that's why we like to communicate with them the whys. I really appreciate everything you've done for our program. You guys that have been in here for some of you 2 years, some of you 3 years, you know, with the pandemic last year, I guess we can wipe out. but parents here have been nothing but amazing, and we're really fortunate to have you. So I thank you. You've done a great job preparing your players too. You've got them in a great place. I want to go ahead and share my screen quickly. See right there. See if it'll share. Well, I apologize. And I'm not getting a share screen. Am I? Here we go. Well, let's see here. There we go. Okay. So what we're looking at here is our schedule. This week is going to be rainy. We know it. We're going to kick off our fundraising tonight. It's the 15th on Monday. And I will get into that here in a little bit and talk about that somewhat. But I wanted to show you this overall calendar. And we've already had some changes. Our first checkpoint is the 18th, and then the 22nd is our fundraising wrap up. So it's just a week, and we really need everyone to sell 10. That's $200 worth. And if we do that, we will be in better shape for next year and this year. And I'll get into why that's important. Picture day is the 23rd. So that's what we're going to wear. And I will make sure and tell the players that ahead of time, probably this week. I'll let them know what we're wearing. And everybody should have all that for pictures. And then I know the 24th, the 25th, and 26th is technically spring break. We are charging on like we were supposed to because these were our scheduled dates and there's no way to change these. So on the 25th, you can see on the 24th, we'll have practice. On the 25th, varsity starts out in Topeka, Shawnee Heights, and then our C team hosts Topeka Hayden here at home at 4 o'clock in a doubleheader. And then on the 26th, you see that we play 2 games at Bettis. Varsity plays Topeka West and Spring Hill. Very difficult initial schedule to start out with, especially when you see the next week. You can see Monday, our JV plays on field 24 and our D team plays on 20. So by the 29th, everybody will have played at least 2 games. So we're going to get rolling in a hurry. That's just short week and a half away. Lansing then the 30th, Seaman C team doubleheader. So we're going to be busy from the get-go. This is our April schedule. And I've sent this out. The change we've made is the 9th has become a freshman game instead of freshman sophomore. They're supposed to be one of each. And then the JV with Turner, we've changed to a C game for us because Turner's very young. So that'll be good for them and good for us. And then we've added Blue Valley Southwest JV on April 24th, doubleheader. It's a Saturday morning. You'll see the 15th through 17th is our tournament again. And we hope for better weather this time. And it's going to be a very, very good one. We've got some great teams lined up. It's going to be a very good tournament. And then here's our schedule in May. So it's going to go very quickly. Once we start, it's going to go very fast. 17 seniors, and this is their last go round. So we look forward to a really fun time. So let's see. So basically, to summarize, we got 8 games the first 2 weeks of the season for varsity, which is almost half our season. The 15th through 17th is our tournament. We play 1 game a day on those dates. We only have one doubleheader on the varsity level, and that's the 26th. So right there versus Topeka West and Spring Hill. Another note that's really going to be cool this year is our JV tournament at 3 and 2, Friday, Saturday. That they'll get 3 games over those 2 days, and that will wrap up our season. We get to host that, so that's going to be a good time. That'll be fun. Now, you probably have several questions about how we break down our teams and such. And I've already said some things to our players about it, but basically we want our guys playing. We don't want kids on the varsity sitting that are not seniors. We don't want players sitting at the JV level at all. We don't want players sitting at the freshman sophomore level or the freshman level. So we can play 26 games as a player. We can only schedule 20 per team. So it's very important that we try to massage those games and make sure our players are playing. It's very important to us. So you're going to be confused at times. There's going to be certain players moving up to varsity, moving to JV, moving to C team, moving to JV. We just want to make sure that we give our players the best opportunity just to play and to improve. It's never a demotion. If they go from varsity to JV or varsity to C team or C team to varsity, there's no demotion. It's purely we want guys to get better. We want guys playing because in the long run, that's the most important thing. Busing. Okay, you'll see leave times on here. Every single home game for our C team and for our freshmen, sophomores, our freshmen, many do not drive. So any home game at 3 and 2, we will have a one-way bus to 3 and 2. So you will be allowed, the players will just get on and they'll ride, take their stuff, and then you can just take them from the field that night after the game. So you don't have to worry about getting off work and getting here to carpool and get them to games. You don't have to do that because it's going to be earlier, obviously. Usually about 2:30 they leave. They take them out there and we have coaches waiting. So that's the plan there. As far as busing to and from games, we'll have a sign out sheet. If C team guys, D team guys, JV guys want to ride home with their parents, at the varsity level, we prefer that they ride home with their teammates on the bus, and really at all levels. But I know sometimes that's not always ideal for parents whose kids don't drive, because we don't want you to have to come all the way back here and pick them up when you leave, if you live in Shawnee or something. Tickets for games. Please contact Mr. Johnson as far as that goes. We as coaches don't want anything to do that. We really don't have anything to do with it. We don't really know. We'll try to tell our players if Mr. Johnson lets me know, and I will tell you at practice. I apologize for the ringing. I'll tell them at practice what's going on. But as far as tickets go, we'll try to send that out via Skyward in advance so you can figure out how to get tickets to go to those games. As far as game days, the only really thing that we really want you is to stay out of our dugouts before and after games and during games. That's our time. That's our sanctuary. If we release them out of our dugouts to go talk to you between games or something like that, that's great. But make sure they're responsible for bringing their own drink, their own meal, whatever, their own candy bar during games. Let them take care of that. That's their responsibility. Let's see, practice uniform. We already got those player packs out, so hopefully those come in soon for our freshmen and a couple of other guys that didn't have them. Uniforms we've already handed out. I think I've sent many emails about what we're going to wear. Hats. Everybody that I am aware of have bought their hats, so we have a surplus this year. So if any parents want to purchase a hat, they will be $30 because we have to pay tax on them. So that's a little bit more back in our fund, which would be good. So we're going to sell those for $30. If you know of anybody or yourself that wants one, you're more than welcome to purchase one. Just have your son come in and hopefully we can get the right size. Many students or players are using their own batting helmets. So if they want to wear their own batting helmet, that's fine. But make sure that it's number one, black or green, and number two, that we can put a D decal on there as well. So that's kind of the plan there. To wrap up here, I've got some miscellaneous things. The first thing is masks. Your player can wear masks the whole time if they want. Obviously, if they're playing and they're in the infield or outfield and they're far away from players, they don't have to wear a mask. When they're close, dugout, whatever, they'll be masked up automatically. That's per state rule. The state says that we don't have to wear them when we play. We didn't wear them for basketball. When they were on the field, when they came off, or on the court, when they come off the court, they put them on. It's the same way with baseball. We'll do the exact same thing. If they want to wear them the whole time, that's fine as well. That's a personal choice. Okay, summer plans. We typically have 2 to 3 teams out at 3 and 2, where we ask for a commitment of one night a week. And it's 1 9-inning game usually. And the Shawnee Mission schools participate, Olathe schools participate, Miege has had a team in the past, and then there's also some club teams that play. So we would request that you talk to your club team and tell them, hey, I'm going to play every Tuesday night or Wednesday night, whatever your team plays, and during June and part of July, because I'm going to be playing with my DeSoto teammates. And this has really helped us in the past have an idea in advance where guys are going to be coming in the next year. So that's kind of an expectation that we have, just one commitment, one night a week. As far as fundraising, I'd want to thank all of you who participated in the donation, the VNN one. It was fantastic. That basically got us out of the red with our hats and our coaches this year. So we paid for those, which are great. For those of you that don't know, we don't have 6 coaches. We have 4. So we have to pay for 2 in order to have that 4th team, to have our freshman team, which we don't mind as long as the fundraising supports it. And so that's really why we do fundraising. And then it also allows us to buy equipment, good equipment, which we need. Now, the fundraising cards, we're going to kick off on Monday, and you'll be seeing those. Take them to work, whatever. We're going to have some strategies. We just got to sell at least 10. 10 would give us 600 tickets sold, and that would be great. That would give us a good chunk of change. It'd be better if we could sell 15 each, if that's possible. And anything else is gravy, to be honest with you. And we're going to wrap that up on Monday, the 22nd, and see where we're at. Now, why would we do this? 1, it sustains our program. 2, I would like to do something. The seniors are wondering, why would I want to fundraise if it's going to go to next year? Well, for that reason, we're going to try to provide some meals for our varsity, okay, at times this year, at some point, somehow. And then 3, I'm under the understanding that in the bond issue, it does not include any of our amenities at our new field next year. So we do not have any L screens. We do not have any square screens for safety. We do not have any hitting mats to preserve our new turf, things like that in our cages. So I've estimated about $12,000. We don't have the bubble because we're not going to take the one from 3 and 2 here because it's dirty and it's beat up. It's 7 years old already, and that wouldn't be right. We don't want to put that on our new field. So that's about $4,500. And with the screens and the turf to save and all those things, the mats, we're looking at a $12,000 probably price tag. And you add in 2 coaches, you're pushing almost $20,000. So for next year. So if we want to do things right, then we want to get as much as we can. We might have to phase that in over time and just do without. And if we do, we do. So that's kind of the incentive for all the freshmen, sophomores, and juniors out there that it will be fundraising. It's for all of what they're going to do is for next season's new field. And they also pay for the 5th and 6th coaches as well. So that's kind of where we're at as far as the fundraising. We also get a nice little chunk of change from Jay at Volt with our spirit wear sales. And I know I've attached that several times. And so if you could get that to me by Wednesday, if you're interested, there's a lot of great t-shirts on there and sweatshirts. And the other orders should be in, the X Grain order should be in soon as well. As I wrap up, I know we're really excited about this season and love working with your players. And again, if you have any questions, jthaemert@usd232.org. Just shoot me an email and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Go Wildcats.